The purpose of these videos is to orient you to what components look like and how to act on them. If you haven't yet viewed the Watch Me First video, please do that first, as it lets you know what to expect. As you read in Chapter 5, annotations are spaces to write that are linked to references. Technically speaking, they're not independent components because they can't be retrieved or outputted separately from the references they're linked to. However, we think of them as components because the analytic use to which they're put in many research projects is central to the process of qualitative analysis. In this video, we show you what annotations look like and discuss the implications of their status in terms of taking actions on them.
As we know, annotations are spaces to write that are linked to references, so let's open a source and have a look at one. Here we can see annotations listed at the bottom of the screen. This one here is highlighted, showing that it's connected to this highlighted reference, and if I choose number 2, it will move the data accordingly. The blue highlight is what's telling us that the reference has been annotated. So annotations are created and embedded at references. But it's not only within sources that they can be visualised. So I'll just go and have a look at a node. I'm going to open up one of my interview section nodes. And as I do that and I scroll down, you'll see that that same annotation that we were just looking at within the source context is also sitting at the node, and I can ask to see the content of the annotation in the usual way by choosing it in the View menu. Remember, as we discussed in the video about nodes, the reason that we can see this annotated reference from within the node is because the process of coding is a process of linking. So this coded data is not a copy of the source material, it is the source material, we're just looking at it through a different window, through the window of a node. Although annotations are embedded at references, they can also be collected together in their own folder in the collections area. Let's go and have a look there, and then we see them all listed here, and we can access them from here too. So if I double click on one here, then it will automatically open up that source, take me to the reference that is annotated, and also show me the annotations. Content at the bottom. So this list is dynamic in the sense that double clicking on one of these annotations will open the source. So it appears that because annotations are listed together here, that they can be acted upon like other components. But when we right click, we see that there are not very many actions that can be taken on this annotation from the list view. The top one here, opening a source, is what I've just shown you, the same as double clicking on one of these sources in the annotations list. The other actions that we have available are to export and print. Both these actions are actually things that I may well need to do as part of my analytic process in this project, but in both cases what will happen is just that this list here will be printed or exported into a spreadsheet, i.e. it will not take the reference that was annotated or the content of the annotation when I ask to print or export the list. If I want that kind of view, then I would need to additionally code all the references that I've annotated. Let me just show you what I mean. Here at the top level of my node system, I've got a node called Annotations, and you can see that I've got some coding that has been done at this node. If I open that node to retrieve those references, you'll see that all those references are blue highlighted references, indicating to me that there are annotations embedded at them. If I view those in the usual way from the View menu, asking for the annotations up the top there, then just like I had in the source view and the other node view that I showed you earlier, we have now got the content of the annotations displaying at the bottom.
Now I can just right click on the annotation node and all the actions are available to me as they would be for any other node.
What I've just shown you is actually a good example of constructing a tool. And remember, Chapter 6 talks about constructing tools in much more detail and gives various other examples of this. I've only shown you so far annotations of text references, but annotations can be created within any type of source. So let's just go to a different project so I can show you a couple of examples. Here we are in the sample project, and at the moment I'm looking at an image which has an associated log, and you can see that text within that log transcript has also been annotated. And if I go and look at the survey responses dataset and Ken's video transcript or Helen's audio transcript, then you'll see that I can create annotations in various different types of sources.